Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay. Okay, ayan. Okay, good evening. Magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Ayan, Alright, magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Welcome po sa ating program. Happy Thursday! Ako po si Sonny LARAGAN. Live ho tayo dito po sa Filipino TV Europe. Okay, napakalamig ho. Grabe. Nako, kaya ako'y pagkalamig-lamig. Nag-snow ho ngayon. No? May some parts of parang right-hand side ho mula Scotland, right-hand side, northwest England, pababa ho pati parts of Kent talagang pagkalamig-lamig ho, no? Talagang nag-snow pa. Meron pa ako napanood sa television ho ngayon na parang pictorial ho ng isang, hindi ko alam kung anong sports team yon, UK sports team, at bumabagsak yung snow. Anyway, good evening. Last day of March. Napakabilis ho ng ng pag-usad ho ng panahon. Bukas ho, simula na, April na, nasa second quarter na ho tayo ng 2022. So welcome ho sa programa natin. Ako po si Sonny LARAGAN. Ito po ang Immigration Corner. At welcome ho sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ng United Kingdom, sa Europa ho, na nanonood sa atin, welcome din. At saan mang bahagi ho ng mundo kayo naroon na nanonood ho sa ating programa, welcome ho. Tuloy po kayo, kabayan. Siyempre, hindi ho ako ang star of the show ng programa ito, no? Dahil hindi naman ho ako eksperto sa larangan, no? Sa field ng immigration. Yung kasama natin, yung managing partner po ng Douglas Simon Solicitors, ang ating kasama, ang ating star of the show natin. So mga kaibigan, no, kukumustahin natin kung ano na nangyari, no, last week o nito mga nakaraang araw. Sa kanya makikibalita ho tayo. Let's say hello to happy Thursday to our attorney, no, resident attorney natin, immigration lawyer, attorney LIRA SIMON-CABATBAT. Attorney, magandang gabi sa iyo. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, Sonny, and sa lahat. Kamusta po? Kamusta kayong lahat? I'm so pleased to be here, no? How is life, Sonny? I like the look, huh? Very rock and roll.
No. Oh, rock and roll. Yeah, rock and roll. What day is it today? Today's the ano kaya? Thursday, attorney.
31st. What Thursday tayo, no?
No,
Happy
Thursday.
Nga,
Oh, yeah.
no,
No, kasi
31st.
okay, it was only last night. I was at the O2 Arena, yung pinakamalaking venue. Kasi there are two venues, isang Indigo. Parang sa Wembley, di ba? Wembley. Oops, hindi ko makita. Asa na kaya? Hindi ko makita to aking screen. Sandali lang, attorney, ha? But biglang, ayun. Sa Wembley, there are two, may Wembley Arena, may Wembley parang stadium, di ba? So there are two venues. So he doesn't necessarily mean pag sinabing Wembley, nandun sila sa stadium, yung napakalaking venue, no? But anyway, nasa auto ko last night, we were watching the royal blood no? Kasama ko yung ating kaibigan si Peps Villanueva. And we were there. Rock music for the whole night,
Rock
no?
and roll. Oh,
Right,
wow.
started with the Amazons. Hindi ko kilala yung mga banda because hindi naman ako into siguro yung mga ganong klase ng music. But it was fantastic, no? We were there. Doon naman nakalugay ng buhok. Kaya lang today ay napakalamig eh. So I thought of just baliktad nga, 'di ba? Dapat nakalugay. Kaya lang napakalamig tonight, so I just decided to do this, no? Magganon lang ako ng hair. Iayos kong ganyan, yan. Nakataling ganyan.
Yeah, no, but there's a rock and roll vibe on you on you today. So that must be from last night nga, no?
Naka-ano ka ba? Naka-attorney? Ano ba tawag dito? Naka-turtleneck?
Yeah. It's
Ayan, I should have.
My court attire.
Well, last night, nakaganyan ako last night. I was there and in my dark green blazer yata last night. So we had a grand time. Wala nang mask yung mga tao, no? Talagang siksikan talaga. Dikit sa sayang pala, naibigay ko pala kay Direk para naipakita niya yung mga photos na nandun kami kagabi, no? Sayang. But I could probably give it to her siguro in a while, no? Maibigay ko sa kanya. Pero ikaw, kumusta ka? How is it? How was your, ako naman medyo gumaling na. So totally na. Medyo last week, magkasama pa tayo last week? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, pero may sakit ka pa rin last week. And towards the end of the show nga, umuubo ka, no?
Oh, yes. Yes. Hindi pa ako 100%, siguro mga 90-85% last time. And you're right, yeah. And then, hopefully, was a weekend, nag-improve na ng gusto, naging 100% na. And so, yeah, ako'y talagang natutuwa, no? Ayun, na ganun nga. Ayun, teka mo, ano ba nangyayari dito sa ating mga switching? Okay, well, good evening. Ikaw, ano naman, how was it? Kumusta ka naman? How was it since the last time, since last Thursday, ano mga developments sa'yo, attorney?
Mainly I'm just trying to keep up with work. It's quite busy nga. But tama ka. Kahapon at saka ngayon, no? Biglang lumamig, no?
Yes.
I put away all my coats. Now, ewan ko sa inyo, I have quite a small cupboard, no? So pagka hindi maginaw, because coats take up a lot of space. Pagka hindi maginaw, I put away my coats, tapos I hang it up somewhere where I don't really access it nga. Nilabas uli, no? Lamig nga ngayon. So they're out again.
Ano bang weather ngayon? Ano ba? Tatanong nga si Siri. Hey Siri, what's the weather today? Weather right now. Hey Siri, what's the weather now?
It's currently snowing and 4 degrees. Expect partly cloudy skies starting in the morning. Today's high will be 9 degrees and the low will be 1 degree.
It's currently 4 and snowing, sabi niya, di ba? Okay.
Yeah.
And totoo naman.
Tama.
Totoo naman. I've spoken to my daughter about an hour ago, si Sofia, and she was telling me, hindi ko, saan pa siya nakatira? Lumipad kasi siya. Nag-snow daw sa place niya. I think it's around the Croydon area, yung aking daughter. Because she moved siguro a week or two. Hindi ko pa napupuntahan kung nasan siya. But ayun, nag-snow daw, attorney. So, tama ka.
Tama siya.
Tama ka.
Sa opisina namin, sa labas ng opisina namin, we're based nga in Richmond, ano?
Uh-huh.
It was flurrying. There's snow.
Wow.
It was astonishing.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so if I looked out of the window, I could see some snow siguro falling. Hindi ko pa ako tumitingin sa labas eh. Dahil hindi pa no? Nakikita ko lang na makulimlim. Earlier, no? Mga 2:30. Kasi kausap ko yung aking partner and we were talking and nag-uusap sunshiny kanina eh. Alam ko mga 2:30 yan eh. Because when I was checking on Siri said, in about half an hour, it's gonna be cloudy and rainy. It will rain. True. Pagkatapos ng mga 30 minutes, pagkatapos biglang kumulimlim eh. Tapos mamaya parang yung hangin ba na, yung parang magmabagyo, yung may howling sound ng konti, yung whistling, di ba? Di ba yung pagkaganyan? Ganun ang nangyari kanina. So, totoo si Siri. Minsan, hindi ko alam kung nakwento kay Attorney Dana ko pala nakwento. We were at Dover last Saturday, Attorney. Kasi ang ganda na, di ba, ang ganda na sunshine the whole week last week?
That's true. Yeah,
Diba?
tama nga.
Last
yeah.
week,
Weather was like summer.
ang ganda ng, parang summer. And it was about almost the whole week, 5 days to the whole week, no? And so, on Saturday, tinanong ko si Siri, pagising sa umaga, hey Siri, what's the weather today? Alam mo sinabi niya? Ang sabi niya, it's a high of 28 degrees. Parang it's 28 degrees today or something like that. Eh, tuwan-tuwa naman ako. So nagtipid ako ng suot. Siyempre, pagka mainit sa labas, di ba?
Yeah.
You wanna be, di ba? Medyo, Yun pala, ang weather pala nung panahon na yun, the real weather pala nung, at the time that I asked Siri, was about 17 or 18 degrees and it was going down. So, nung nasa Dover kami, ang lamig. Grabe, nangangatog kaming gano'n na mali. Kaya tinatanong ko si Attorney Dana, pwede ko ba i-demanda yung gumawa di ba? Binigyan ako wrong information di ba? So, anyway, dapat meron due diligence. You should have checked some other sources pa, di ba? So hindi naman totally nag-rely ka kay Siri. So have you been to Dover? Castle, I'm referring to Dover Castle. We were on top of the hill. So Dover Castle.
Only the ones, and that was a few years ago, and it not for sightseeing. Unfortunately, I was getting a client out of the detention center nga sa Dover. So
meron ba detention center? Dover?
Meron.
Okay.
Meron. So,
she was saying, go ahead with the story.
Yeah.
So you went there to collect.
So I only saw the building, and it looks very much like any other government building. It's very gray, very sad looking. Tapos, but no, I have not. Unfortunately, I have not had the kind of pleasure of just walking around Dover. I'd like to actually. Maybe nitong summer when pagka maganda ng weather natin. Hopefully it comes back. Spring. It's spring now, no?
Spring pero parang winter time Di ba? Spring is March, April, and May. Tapos summer, June, July, August. Balik na naman tayo sa fall, autumn, September, October, November. For those who are viewing us, dahil dito kami lalo na yung mga nasa Qatar, nasa ibang bansa, na wala sa Europa, 4 na weather ang meron kami rito, umiikot yan. Pati time natin, bago na. Last Sunday, bago na, last Sunday. So now, this week, we're adopting the BST, di ba? British Summertime. So pagka sa mga nanonood sa amin dito nasa Europe po kami sa London ng ating studios, pagka summertime actually hindi pa naman summertime but we call it BST, di ba? Parang British Summertime, although hindi pa summer technically, pero ang oras BST that's how you would write it, no? Anong oras mo ngayon? 7:49 BST. Ganun ang ating sulat, di ba? British Summertime. Nagbabago oras na mas umiiksi yung distance pagitan ng Pilipinas at saka ng UK. So nung nakaraan, lalo na nung Christmas, winter time, 8 hours ang oras. Halimbawa, alas 12 ng tanghali sa UK, alas 8 ng gabi sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, British Summertime, pag alas 12 ng tanghali dito sa UK, alas 7 ng gabi sa Pilipinas. So 7 hours time difference.
Yeah.
Di ba? Tama, attorney?
Yeah. Tama ka.
Tama,
So we're supposed to be British summertime na nga, pero ngayon, at least today, tsaka kahapon din, lumabig. So and today there was even snow. So
okay lang sana yun kung talagang prepared ka na because you're thinking of say December, January, February, you devote that to snows and winter time and di ba? Pero pagkatipong nasa springtime ka tapos mag-winter ka pa, di ba? Although in a way it's closer to it's coming from winter pero ano ba historically ba ang itong mga ganitong mga March ano pa yan, di ba? Parang malamig-lamig pa naman yata talaga yan parang it was like a freak of nature. Last week was a wonderful time for us, di ba? Ganun ba? Is it unusually good weather or ano ba ang feeling natin? Ikaw, ilang taon ka na ba rito, attorney? More than 30 years na?
Matagal na
40
ako.
years?
Yeah. And, not quite 40. I don't know, sandali. Actually, mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
mid-30s ba? It could even be I had to work out the length of time that I've been qualified now, no, as a solicitor, because I had to complete nga form. Anyway, much to my surprise, and frankly, I wasn't really sure whether I was upset. I mean, I don't know why I was surprised nga. And it was a little bit worrying also. Ako, 29 years qualified na ako.
Wow. 29 years.
So
Imagine mo
year,
yan.
29 years.
30th
Next
year
30 na ako. This is just my post-qualification experience. So, this is when, in January, 29 years ago, I qualified, I finished my training as a solicitor. So,
okay.
So it's not that it's when I studied. No, I studied far earlier than that.
Oh, yes.
I did also my training before that. So, and then after that, of course, you had to make an application. They had to check. So there's a bit of time passed since certainly my studies and then post qualification and the training. But so even taking the latest point, I will be 30. Yeah, I'm 29 years now.
29 years. When you qualified, when you qualified, sabi mo. And qualification sometimes in the past would take about 3 years at least, ganun?
Yeah. So ako, because you have the traditional route, and it was 3 years studies.
Okay.
Tapos 1 year in those days ang tawag is solicitor's finals. Okay. Tapos
would that be the fourth year? So you said
three.
You said 3 years of studies, law studies, and then yung 1 year na sinasabi mo, would that be 1 year or yung solicitor something, or is it just say
finals?
Solicitor finals? Did it take about a year? 1 year ba yan?
Yeah, 1 year na yun.
1 year, so 4 years.
1 year. That was
okay.
So
and
that
then
was
the qualification
4 years
period.
Studies. The qualification period is a minimum of 2 years.
2 years. Oh, so that makes about 6 years now.
Yeah. 6 years now. But of course, in between those, you had to wait now, of course, for what I did, no? I remember waiting out for getting a training contract, or starting my training contract at the time. Tapos, of course, when you're qualified, you needed to make an application. They do their checks, the character checks and all of that, no?
Okay. Yes.
So it is astonishing how time has gone so fast. Yeah?
Wow.
29 years. And I have a solicitor, one of our solicitors nga, he is, he's just about 30, no? Tapos, one of my, yung assistant ko nga ngayon, she is only 20, she turned 21, yeah? One of my assistants nga. 21, tignan mo!
Oh, isang 30s and 21. Imagine mo, 30 years. So, nasa field ka na ng law. So sabi mo, 3 years of study, there's 1 year of finals, a couple of years of, so 6 plus 29, that's 35 years. And then there was some, syempre, may hindi naman may waiting period siguro. Give and take, mga 6 months of waiting or something, coordinating. So, mga 36 to 37 years ka nang nasa law field. Can you put it safely say that?
Yeah. Probably 30, about 36 years now.
36 years, imagine
mo
yan.
So there are people there saying, ilang taon na siya? Let's add, no?
Ako hindi ko iniisip, attorney. I was thinking now in relation, parang, not really contrasting it, parang, with the 21-year-olds that you have and the 30 years old, no? Yeah. 30 years old, diba? Sila you were, as if you're looking at yourself in their, looking at them, having them with you is like looking at yourself 20, 30, or 29 years ago, di ba? Parang ganyan, di ba?
Yeah, and of course, kung ikaw nga mismo, you don't feel it, huh? So, time is moving us so fast. I know old people say that, but I'm allowed that I'm old now nga, no? So, but it's strange how time goes so fast, no? And you don't really notice nga, no? You qualified, tapos you qualified and you 5 years, and then the 10 years go by, and then passing 20 years.
When you channel all your energies and your thoughts and your parang di ba, when you are engaged in something, when you pag binuhos mo, di ba, sarili mo, kasi if half ka, Hindi mo mafe-feel eh. But if you're really there, you wouldn't notice the ride na andun ka na pala, no? Because you're totally engrossed, 'di ba? Pag engrossed ka sa ginagawa mo, 'di ba? Hindi mo maano mo oras eh. Pero pag wala ka sa concentration na ginagawa mo, bibilang ka ng oras, alam mo, aware ka eh. But so, tama ka, engrossed ka, and you were really, really dedicated to your vocation and profession, no? Attorney, let's tayo, no? So, ang topic natin for tonight is something about, papakita lang natin ni kay Direct para, ano, yan, spouse applications, when do you have to show, ayan, an income of 18,600, yan. So, yan ang topic natin ngayon.
Yeah.
So, at least, kasi we have, every time we have new viewers, notice mo, pati kay Attorney Dana we would notice some new names coming up, no? Or cropping up, no? So, yun, well, it's nice that we discuss these things, no? At least, it becomes fresh to these people. Okay, it's Batian session, so we're gonna be, ito ngayon, yung mga psychic talent or skill, ilalabas mo ngayon, di ba? So we will guess. It's a little game that we play. It's a little fun that we have at the start of the show, wherein we acknowledge who the first, how do you call it, greeter on the show is. No? All right, sige, roll, Direct. Okay, so yung bumabati sa atin sa Facebook, sa YouTube, you can watch us on both, no? Any of the two, or even both if you want, no? Pwede ho tayo. Basta Filipino TV Europe po. So you might be watching us from some of the other pages that we have, but we encourage you para maka-message ho kayo talaga ng diretso, punta ho kayo sa Filipino TV Europe, i-like ho ninyo yung Facebook page, and doon mag-message ho kayo direkta. Okay, alright, sino ang hula ni Attorney? Sino hula mo? Sige.
From this morning, I've been thinking about this lovely lady.
Lady.
Emmeline
Okay.
Raffel. Miss Raffel. I'm going with Miss Raffel.
Because, platinum, 75th birthday pala. I was thinking it was Diamond, di ba? Parang ganyan, Diamond Jubilee. One of our viewers said it's platinum, no? Ang 75th
Platinum
birthday.
ba? O 75?
Well, sabi, yun. I haven't really double-checked. I relied on that person's, di ba? Yung kanyang info na binigay sa atin. Si Edgardo Cagahastian, yung ating one of our avid friends and viewers, no? Yeah, siya nagsabi na platinum daw ang 75. Tatanong ko kay Direct. Direct, pakicheck mo kung 75th talaga. Confirm mo kung tama platinum ba o diamond, no? I-check natin yan. Okay. Mamaya na. Sige. Sige. Okay. Sige, ikunin mo sa iba. Mamaya mo na habang ano. So, sige, Direct. Sige. Emmeline Raffel, hula ni ano. Sige. Attorney. Okay.
Our American friend.
The guy who has always consistently guessed yung mga ano mo, yung mga ano ba tawag dito, how would you call that? Yung mga guessing game mo, no? Yung guess who, where, ganyan. Yeah, okay.
Yun na nga.
Ayan,
Yeah.
sige.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
get
The very clever Mr. Fernandez, Oliver. So,
Fernandez.
another Thursday, another dagdag kaalaman day as Attorney Lira, Kuya Sonny, and Direct Pao deliver our favorite Immigration Corner program regarding minimum UK income requirements for people planning for spouse application. Oliver!
Galing.
Talaga, isa!
Alam niya lahat.
You summed it in one. Tama ka. Yeah.
Ano daw, very keen observer. He goes beyond. He just doesn't watch. He does an extra, di ba? He's the fellow siguro, when he works, he does the extra mile. Siguro, di ba, na po-promote to, di ba?
Yeah.
People who do the extra mile, iba kasi mga, di ba, some employees will be medyo tamad, di ba, nagbibilang ng oras, nag-ano. But those people who go the extra mile are those people who make it in life, no? Who get to be more successful. Ayan.
Absolutely. And I'm sure Oliver's one.
Yes,
Tama.
Oliver is one. Oo. So thank you, Oliver, ha? Mabuhay from the other side of the pond, no? Di ba? Other side of the pond. Sa Amerika siya. Seattle. Teka muna, malayo yung lugar niya, attorney, kung tutusin. Because the closest US city to us is New York, eh. Di ba? And they are at the other side. Di ba? Side ng California, sa Pacific side yan, eh. Tama, di ba? Tama yun, eh.
So, Yeah, I think
yes.
so. Yeah, hopefully it's warmer, ano, sa kanila
Sana,
Oh, I'm sure it will be
hindi ka
warmer.
mukha dito, nag-i-snow kami. Okay, so you missed the first one. Emily Rafael, yung birthday celebrant natin, who's celebrating her birthday, I think, on Sunday yata, eksakto, no? Yeah, so sino ang hula mo ngayon? Sige.
I'm sticking with the birthday
Sticking with
girl.
her. Sticking,
I'm
syempre.
sticking with Miss Rafael.
Siyempre. Okay, tama
Okay.
rin naman. Yeah, correct. Okay, sige, direct. Tignan natin kung si Emmeline Rafael. Ayun! Si Marian Galicia Panero.
Of course, Marian. Yeah,
Ayan.
just pipped to the mark by Oliver. Yeah.
Mm.
Hi, Miss Paner. Yeah. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay safe and God bless us po. Tama ka, Miss Paner.
Yes,
God bless.
God bless.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.
God bless. Oo. I hope, no? Sana nag-normalize na. I was yesterday at the concert nga, like I was saying, at the O2 Arena, no? Sabay na natin magka 90% o 95% of all the attendees walang mask eh. No? Tapos nandoon kami sa pagkatapos ng uwian, yun ang problema pag 'di ba parang sabay-sabay kayo and then you will all be crowding the tube station, ang hirap sumakay, 'di ba? So yeah, anong tawag dito? Wala rin masyadong nakamask eh, no? So well, hopefully it's getting to be normal, no? Sana, pero ingat pa rin tayo. We just, mahirap magkasakit, no? Like I did, no, the last time na pakinggan mo yung boses ko, attorney. Grabe, talaga croaky ako talaga yung boses ko. More than a bedroom voice, no? It's more of a hospital bed voice.
Hindi naman. Yeah.
Diba? Sama talaga. I hate that kind of a voice. So, hindi na bedroom voice eh, hospital bedroom voice. Okay, attorney. Sino? Next, sino ang hula mo?
I'm sticking with
of course.
Miss
Yeah.
Rafael.
That's
birthday
what she,
girl.
Yes, that's what she gets being the birthday girl. She has that parang special treatment. Ayan. Emily Rafael nga ba for the third try? Oh, yeah, oy.
Oh, Cherry Bell.
Oo. La Torre Igarta. I think she asked some questions yata nung nakarama, no? Si Cherry Bell. Igarta,
quite good questions. Yeah,
Quite good
magandang
questions,
gabi. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Magandang gabi, Cherry Bell. Love her name actually. No?
Oh, yeah, Cherry Bell, ang ganda. Oh.
Sorla.
Si Ma'am Cora, good evening.
Hi, Ma'am Cora. Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, masayang gabi. Masayang gabi po.
Masayang gabi.
How are you,
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening. Masaya at malamig na gabi sa inyong lahat.
Malamig na
Nasa
gabi.
UK,
Yun
no?
nga.
Malamig tayo
Yeah,
dito.
no, absolutely. It's
Galing.
duvet night tonight. Yeah.
Duvet night tonight.
Mary Rose Fronda.
Aside from the duvet, meron ako heater sa attorney, doon sa duvet ba yun? May para So mga 10 to 15 minutes before I get in, so binubuksan ko muna yan para warm, no?
Oh, you have one of those electric blankets.
Electric blankets, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, yes. I still have it, no? I still have it. Ginagawa ko before I switch it on siguro 5-15 minutes before. Hindi naman kasi ganun kabilis mag-ano yun eh. And then pag pasok ko na at medyo mainit na, then pinapatay ko na. Ang problema ko lang, paglabas ko naman, pagka kunyari in the middle of the night, I had to go to the loo. Ang lamig, pagbalik mo ulit, no? Ayan. Okay,
Yeah,
attorney,
you
sino yan?
feel it
Si
more.
Mary Rose Fronda, yeah.
Hi, Mary Rose. Yeah. Hi, Sir Sonia and Attorney Lira. A great Thursday evening to everyone. Stay safe always. God bless. Yeah, tama ka, Mary Rose.
Okay,
Stay safe.
Thank you. Mary
Happy
Rose,
Thursday.
mabuhay ka, no? Ayan. All right.
Rachel Katuisa Bautista.
Katuisa, yeah.
Magandang gabi po. Magandang gabi po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. At sa lahat po, sa happy dagdag kaalaman po sa ating lahat. God bless and stay safe. I love that. Happy dagdag kaalaman. No?
Yeah, happy dagdag kaalaman. Ayan. Oh, okay. Irene, Duay.
Oh,
Irene, yes.
Ibang picture nila. Okay.
Okay.
Si Miss Duay. Good evening po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira, and to all the viewers of, Philippine TV Europe, of course, yeah. Nice and happy listening po sa lahat. I'm so excited tonight's topic. It's only now that I came to watch your live show. Let's all sit back and enjoy the program. We missed you. I missed you, Miss Duay. Yun nga. So,
she'll be there on Sunday. Si Irene kasi has been working on the night shift ever since she started work as a nurse sa UK. And so, bibihira yung na siya. And it's really, we're glad that you're watching. Mabuhay ka, mabuhay, ha? Mabuhay, Irene. Ayan, the better half, no? Sino ito?
Yeah,
Kathleen.
the better half. It's Kathleen Joyce Tabisora
Better half ni Edwin,
Terso.
no? Edwin tuloy, Ed Duay, so,
Edgar.
Kathleen Joyce Tabisora Terso, ayan.
Yeah.
Ayan,
Terso.
mabuhay.
Good evening, Attorney Lira. Yeah. And Sir Sonny, stay safe po always. God
Ikaw
bless.
rin.
Love her
You too.
picture.
Ikaw rin. Mag-ingat ka rin, no? Stay safe, no? Okay. Leslie Hakaban. Attorney, go ahead. Yes.
Hakaban, yeah. Yeah, good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Good evening, Leslie. Where are you
Mabuhay
watching
ka.
from?
Taga saan ka? Oo nga, tell us where you're watching from, no? At saka pag may mga questions kayo, you can start sending them in. Pero mamaya na ho natin babasahin yan sa end part of the show, no? Okay. Oh, si Leslie nga pala. Yeah, si Leslie. Ito, love natin to. Ito yung yung meron siyang no? Tama. Leslie, mabuhay ka. How are you? No? Okay, mabuhay ka. Okay, ito, Rudy Libroho, attorney, talking of Ireland, no? Northern Ireland pala.
Yun na nga,
Ireland,
Northern Ireland. Maganda at masayang malamig na Spring Thursday, tama ka. No?
Oo nga.
Lovely and elegant, Attorney Lira, and mga legends and always good-looking guys, Sir Sonny and Sir Edgar, and lovely Direct Paula. And Mia wants to thank you all for the support on her music. And all enjoying viewers, Team Libroho. No, I mean, Mia's she's a very talented young lady,
Naalala ko yan si Mia kasi last night I remember the last time that we also were there at the O2 yung sa Indigo was yung parang finals ng mga UK wide na singing contest Oo, na parang yung similar do sa sinalihan ni Mia. So meron tayong Filipino participant nun. Yes, sila Cherry, nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan ng grupo niya. And they were one of the finalists during that time. Oh yeah, Rudy, mabuhay Malamig din ba dyan sa inyo sa Belfast, no? Ayan. Okay. Si Rosemary Guban, hindi pa ba ngayon lang ba lumabas yan, si Rosemary? So yeah, attorney, sige.
Magandang gabi, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday po.
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Oh, ito yung hinulaan mo. Ito yung tatlong hula mo. Siya ang gusto mo dahil di ba? Birthday celebrant Emolina, ikaw tatlong tries yun. Ikaw ang talaga parang in-insist ni attorney na kanyang bet. Nababate na to be the first three. No? Ayan, sige, go ahead, attorney.
Yeah. Yes, the lovely. Oh, nawala. Hindi
pa natin nabasa.
Yeah, the lovely Miss Rafael, no? Emmeline Rafael. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira, and happy Thursday to everyone. Happy Thursday for Miss Rafael.
Happy Thursday.
The 75 young.
Yes, or 17 young, no? 17. And she's going to be celebrating her 18th birthday next year. Ayun, Alfred Sagon, is this his bago ba to si Alfred? Alfred, taga saan ka? Sige.
No, I don't remember the name. Yeah, Alfred Sagon.
Parang bago
Good evening to all and have a blessed evening to everyone. No, tama ka. And be safe nga, no?
Yeah, tell us where you're watching from, no?
Yeah.
Oh, Alfred, tell us where you're watching from para at least ma-acknowledge namin, no? Ayan, okay. Sino to? Si Johnny Katuwiza Bak. Okay.
Okay. Johnny, yeah. Happy Thursday po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Have a wonderful and blessed evening. Keep everyone safe. Yeah, you're right, Johnny, no?
Yes,
you too.
Salamat.
Ingat.
You too. Yes, ingat ka rin, no?
Yeah.
Rose Calvero.
Okay. Yeah.
Ayan, okay.
So good evening po. Good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Hope everyone is well. God bless. Yeah, no, we're okay now, no? Sonny's feeling good.
Oh yeah, yes. So 2 weeks ago yata yan, no? Nung medyo I was not feeling well. Last week we had last week we had a show. The week before we also had a show, no? Baka 3 weeks ago yata yan, no? 2 or 3 weeks ago. But anyway. Yeah. Barbara Quintal Roberts.
Okay. From Somerset. Mamaya
pa yan.
Question.
Sige, mamaya pa yan.
So we'll come back. But come back to us,
come back to you. Parang, we'll come back to you. Question na yan pangit naman, hindi naman, not really pangit. It's not the right word to say. We have a segment for that later on, no? Hindi pa siya ngayon papasok.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony Rachel Barauli. Oy, okay.
Yeah.
Something,
Yeah.
okay, cute ang name, ha? Okay. Anthony. Yes.
Bago. Magandang gabi po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Happy New Knowledge. New Knowledge Evening. I've not heard that.
Bagong kaalaman, parang
Tama.
ano ba, dagdag
But
kaalaman
I've
kasi.
not heard that. Yun na nga, New Knowledge
New
Evening.
knowledge.
I like
Yeah, well,
that.
Things are, alam mo na, it's nice that our viewers coin and create some phrases and di ba? New words.
Yeah.
Kamukha ng Happy Thursday, di ba? Yung mga Happy Tuesday. Si Edgardo Cagahastian yan eh. Ayan, okay.
New
Alright.
Knowledge Evening, yeah. NKE, no? New Knowledge Evening. So
New
that'll be
Knowledge
my-
Evening,
so,
oo, New Knowledge Evening. Ayan.
NKE. NKE
KE.
tayo yun, no?
Oo,
Yeah.
NKE,
So,
New Knowledge Evening. Oh, that's
NKE.
something new, bagong acronym yan, no? So, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, NKE Night, ayun. Alright, Grace Cabalteja. Yeah, Grace Cabalteja.
Yeah. Good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy dagdag kaalaman. Tama, yeah, dagdag kaalaman. Oh, I like that picture. Grace, hindi,
yeah.
Ikaw ba yan? O asawa mo siguro,
Grace, ikaw yan,
partner
Grace.
mo, no?
Oh, yeah, Grace Cabalteja.
Siya nasa likod.
Is Vora. Nakasama si Praha, Prague. Prague tuloy. Prague.
Wow,
In Czech
wow.
Republic. Wow, Annalyn, mabuhay ka.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, for watching. No?
Yeah,
Hello po sa inyo,
yeah,
Sir
yun na
Sunny
nga.
and Attorney Lira. From Praha. Praha is that's how they write it, di ba? Parang Rome, pagka nandun ka, Roma sulat nila. Pagka nasa, di ba, that's how they write it. In Germany, halimbawa, if you are in Cologne, we write it in English yung Cologne na pabango. Pero when you are in Germany, it's written as K-O-L-N. Cologne, di ba?
Yeah.
Di ganun, no?
Yeah,
So,
or Munich is München. No?
München, yes.
Annalyn, malamig ba dyan? Yeah.
Oo
Hello.
nga. Malamig ba dyan, Annalyn? Oh, yan. Nawala na si Annalyn. Okay.
I don't actually know what the weather is like there in Czechoslovakia.
Ito si Mo.
so.
We used to have an Asian guy who was commenting a lot before, diba? I forgot his name. Would you remember the name? There was a.
Oh, you know,
Diba?
I know who you mean, but I can't remember nga ang pangalan niya. Yeah,
he knows about the
actually,
Filipinos.
yeah,
Alam din niya he kept messaging us before, no? Diba? He had some similar mga, let's say, mga experiences yata that he was sharing with us. Na if, say, for example, our viewers would ask us a certain situation which would be similar to his, no? He would give his advice or his experience, no? Asa na ngayon? Would you remember his name? Nakakalimutan ko na yung... it's been a long time, di ba? You know him, di ba? Alam mo, you know who I'm referring to, no? Yes.
Absolutely. So kung nanonood, so you have to speak in not Tagalog, of course. I was gonna say, kung nanonood, so if you're watching, say hello. Say hello again.
I say hello again. Yes, we miss him, no?
Mohideen.
Oh, okay. Sino yan?
Mohideen Mohammed.
Oh, yan. So who do we have? Nora Taboro, yan. Oh, yan. Si
Nora
attorney.
Tabor, yeah. Hello, attorney and Sir Sonny. Good evening.
Good evening.
po,
Ayan.
Nora.
Good evening. Ito,
Hope
sino
you're
itong
well.
bago? Okay, yes. Mika Iglesias. Oh.
Iglesias. Oh, I love her photo. At least,
Oo.
is that you, no, Mika? Yeah.
Mika,
Hi,
yeah,
Sir
hi.
Sonny
Cute
and
naman.
Attorney Lira. Yeah, hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. Well, yeah, I mean,
Keep
I
safe.
am, no. Keep safe. Ito nga din, Mika.
Okay, the better half this time.
Yeah, the charming Mr. Duway, no, Edgar. Magandang gabi. Yeah, to you too, no? Po sa inyong lahat. See you sa Sunday.
Ayun, so they'll be coming all the way from Derby. No? So magkakatabi yan.
Wow.
Nottingham, Derby, so from up north. Ayan, no. So magandang kaarawan, Emmeline Rafael, sinasabi ni Edgar Duway, no? Happy birthday, malapit na yung birthday niya. It's a few days from now, or just the get together that is, no. Okay. Well, ayan na muna. Siguro yung mga pagbate, yung kaninang may question na ina-flash si Direk, no? Mamaya na ho yan because after the topic na didiscuss ni attorney, then we go into the questions. We entertain the questions. Okay, magbe-break ho muna tayo, and when we come back, yung spouse applications, when do you have to show an income of 18,600? Tatalakayin ho ni attorney. We're gonna have a short break, so you gives you a chance to call up your friends and tell them, huy, pag-uusapan nila attorney yung one of the requirements, no, sa spouse applications, when do you have to show an income of 18,600? So, we're gonna have a short break, and when we come back, diretso na ho tayo sa topic natin. Don't go away.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy ho tayo sa ating programa. Ako po si Sonny Laragan. For those who tuned in, nasa second half na ho tayo ng ating programa. Okay, tawagan natin siyempre yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada. No? Once again, happy Thursday, attorney. No? Attorney LIRA, SIMON-CABATBAT. Attorney, good
Happy
evening
Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday po. Yeah.
Ayan. So tuloy na tayo sa topic, no? We've been telling them about it at the start of the program. Ito na ho, no? So, spouse applications, when do you have to show an income of 18,600? Sige, attorney, take it away.
Okay, so ito po. So, I mean, in the part of the reason I thought, okay, pag-usapan nga natin ito, is in the last, probably few weeks nga, I've had quite a lot of inquiries, in fact, confusion, really, about the 18,600. The latest one was actually just today, no? So, people assume na kailangan yung pakita nga 18,600. And, but that's not always the case. So, pag-usapan po natin. Now, just basic factors to bear in mind. Yung 18,000, so it's to do with spouse applications. So, spouse o partner application. So, basically, pupunta yung asawa nyo dito o kayong partner nyo dito over 2 years o kaya nandito na sila and you want to support them in their application. And this is how often itong 18,600 comes about, no? It wasn't always 18,600 actually. I think it was I think it was only something like 2012 that it was introduced, or it could be earlier nga than that. But basically, kung papasok nga yung asawa niyo dito, then you need to be able to show that you're able to support them in the UK without recourse to public funds. That's the usual phrase. And for some, it is you need to be able to show 18,600. Now, unang-una po, yung 18,600, that is before tax, yung income. Now, so it's not a question of kung sabihin natin 1,000 sweldo nyo, no? So you go 12, then 1,000 times 12, because yun nakukuha niya sa bulsa nyo. The 18,600 is actually a little bit more generous than that. So it is actually before tax. So it could be that ang nakukuha nyo nga lang is 1,500. The 3,000 odd pounds is actually goes to tax, goes to national insurance contributions, for example, no? But it could be the full year is 18,600. And now you can see the 18,600. You can work out your income using various methods. The easiest would be yung payslips nyo. No? If you're employed in the United Kingdom. Usually, pagka nakuha yung payslip nyo, there's a running total of your income as at that time, starting from April. No? So from April to April, pagka nakuha yung P60 nyo, that is basically that's the document that looks at your income for the year. Nandun yung income nyo, yung 18,600 hopefully. So that's one thing. You can of course also calculate it, no, by just looking at your payslip again, and then multiplying that by say 12, and then you work out the 1 year income. And easiest would be kung anong nasa kontrata nyo. But I appreciate some people, you have overtime and contractually also required to do overtime, in which case it could be that it's actually 18,000, yung income nyo is 18,600. So it could be that yung basic nyo 15,000, and then there's an additional 3,600 pounds by way of overtime from last year. So the 18,600 is easy enough to work out. Now, kung hindi nga lang isang trabaho nyo, sabihin natin you have morning job, and then you have an afternoon job, and sometimes I have quite a few clients actually where they have more than even 2 jobs, no? Masipag nga tayo, no? So you can actually add all the jobs together, but whether or not you can, the period you have to add depends on, are you employed, are you self-employed, for example, kung ano kailangan yung pakita. So you can add jobs, no? Generally, yung income na yung 18,000, yung employment nga, you should really be holding that for minimum nga of 6 months if you are permanently employed. So, but this is only one factor of when you're making an application for spouse visa. But weirdly, it still causes quite a lot of confusion. And the bad thing is kung magkamali nga kayo, no, sabihin natin ang income nyo, you thought was 18,600, but when you work it out, it's actually 18,000 or 18,500. Kahit 18,500, kung kulang, marirefuse kayo. So it is actually, it should really be the more straightforward factor to work out, but it's not always. And it is equally important, no, as others. But the good news is you don't always have to show nga 18,600. So tingnan nga natin the circumstances when you may not necessarily need to show 18,600. Now, one example would be if you are, kung yung asawa nyo, he or she is in receipt of, say, disability living allowance or personal independent payment. So basically, may sakit nga, and they're getting benefits in order to supplement their income. So if they're getting that, then you are not, they're not required to show that ang income nga nila is 18,600. So now the other thing where you don't need to show the 18,600, and I must admit I don't come across this very often, is kung meron kayong savings, o yung asawa nyo o kayo, may savings kayo of no less, kung wala kayong income, walang-wala, the savings you need to show is a whopping great big amount of 62,500 pounds, no? So that would be the savings, and the savings you need to have held for minimum nga of 6 months, and it must be savings rather than say, equity in a house. But you can also put together income nyo at saka yung some savings. So for example, 15,000, if sabihin natin kung income nyo ay 15,000, then the savings you need to show to satisfy the income requirement, the savings requirement, is 25,000 pounds. No? There's a formula which I'm more than happy to also email to you if you want to have it nga, that works out magkano ang kailangan yung savings kung ang income nyo is under 18,600. So that's the background to this 18,600. When do you have to show an income of 18,600? And this is where the confusion comes about. Now, the most obvious time you have to show 18,600 is kung sabihin natin nasa Pinas kayo ngayon, gusto nyo pumasok nga dito, nanditong asawa nyo, o ka nanditong partner nyo, and you coming in as his or her dependent sa UK. Now, then, so yung asawa nyo, yung partner nyo, sabihin natin may indefinite leave to remain siya, o kaya British passport holder na nga siya, o under the EU settlement scheme, permanent resident nga siya dito. So, a status of permanency in the United Kingdom. If that's the case, then one of the factors na kailangan yung pakita is £18,600. Now, if you don't reach that 18,600, as I say, you can add some savings, for example. Now, just bear in mind, kung mag-isa nga lang kayo, no, then it's 18,600. Pero kung meron kayong anak, no, kailangan dadagdag at kukunin niyo din yung bata, dadagdagan nga yun. And for the first child, it's 3,800 on top, no? And then subsequent children, it's 2,400 nga. So basically, tumataas ng tumataas. The more children you have, of course, the higher the requirement is. So kung nasa Pinas nga kayo, kukunin kayo dito, then at the minimum, kailangan nyo pakita o kailangan pakita ng spouse nyo o partner nyo nga is 18,600, amongst other things, no? Because that's only one factor of many factors for someone who's coming into the UK as a partner or as a spouse, no? Now, so that would be one scenario. You're in the Philippines. Second possibility is you are already in the United Kingdom. So sabihin natin nandito kayo, estudyante kayo dito, o kaya nandito kayo on the basis of employment, no? Dito kayo on the basis that you are say under the skilled worker route, no? Now, kung nandito na kayo, does the £18,600 still apply if you're swapping that to a spouse? So, the scenario, as I say, is nandito kayo as a student, you want to get married in the UK, you want to change your visa, papalitan yung visa nyo from that of a student to that of a spouse, no? Now, kung yung gusto nyong gawin, kung yung plano nga, then absolutely, this 18,600 would still apply. So, the good news though is that nandito kayo, may visa nga kayo. Kung meron kayong trabaho dito, sabihin natin you're here on a skilled worker route, for example, no? Or you're here as a student but you're allowed to work at least part-time nga as a student. Pwede nyo idagdag yung income nyo sa income ng asawa nyo. So, kung yung buo, ang total is 18,600, okay pa rin, no? So, but there you need to be able to show na yung income, yung trabaho nyo nga dito, you're undertaking that work and it's allowed, no? So kung estudyante kayo but you're working full-time, of course that's not allowed, no? If you're here on sabihin natin as a let's say you're here on a part-time base, or you're here as a volunteer, no? That it could be that you can't add nga your income to that of your spouse. So just be careful. But if you're allowed to earn the income, you're allowed to work under the terms of your immigration condition, then you can add that income to the 18,600. So, I mean, just roughly nga, kung income mo 10,000, tapos yung income ng asawa mo 10,000 din, then you can absolutely put them together, and then, of course, your income is in excess of 18,600. But you need to be allowed to take up that employment. Now, kung nandito nga kayo, you have proper visa in the UK, but you're not allowed to actually take up employment. So the prime example would be visitor ka, no? So sabihin natin dumating ka dito, napasyal nga lang, and you meet someone, you decide to actually marry, and you do marry. Now, if you are working, that is in breach of your immigration condition, kahit hindi pa pasong visa mo. So ibig sabihin, hindi nyo pwedeng idagdag yung income mo dito, income mo doon, kung ano man yon, sa income ng asawa mo, because you're not actually allowed to take up employment in the United Kingdom. No? So you can also, the 18,600 would still apply even if you are swapping your visa from something else, like a student, sabihin natin, to that of a spouse in the United Kingdom. Now, then it becomes more complex to some extent. And this is where I come across quite a lot of confusion, and I think sometimes I have a feeling that people are perhaps misadvised in a way, because of the conflation nga between yung the spouse visa and the visa in the UK kung walang status yung tao. So, another scenario is, sabihin natin nandito nga kayo, no? Yung nga lang, paso na yung visa nyo. So, you often referred to as overstayers, no? Dito sa UK. Now, if that's the case, tapos kinasal kayo dito, gusto nyo magpakasal dito, o ang kasama nyo nga, ang fiancé mo, partner mo, you've been together for a minimum of 2 years and you can prove that, no? So you want to pursue an application as a partner in the UK or indeed as a spouse kung kinasal nga kayo dito, pero paso na yung visa mo. And in fact, matagal ng paso, overstayer ka na. Do you need to show at that point 18,600 income of your partner, in this case, of course? The answer is no. You don't have to. But you still need to show, even though they don't say, okay, kailangan pakita 18,600. The only reason that's the case is dahil ibang batas ang i-apply nga nila. So rather than looking at the usual spousal route, no, that require the conditions to be satisfied, 18,600, accommodation in the UK, English language, kung galing ka sa Pinas, TB test, no, accommodation, all of those, and of course, genuine relationship. They are looking at that, yung home office, titignan nga din nila yon, but that's not, if the income falls below 18,600, that on its own will not necessarily lead to a refusal. And only recently, I've come across actually a couple of decisions where I think that was actually not picked up, no, by the court, by the tribunal. So, kung yun ang sitwasyon nyo, nandito nga kayo, pero yung nga, paso na yung visa, no? And yung partner nyo, ang income nga niya, sabihin natin 18,000. So, it's slightly short of 18,600, or wala nga siyang income. Does that then mean na marirefuse yung application nyo, that you don't satisfy the income requirement? The answer is no. Which is ironic, but that's the case. Dahil titingnan po nila, hindi yung spousal, not as a first route, hindi nga nila titingnan yung spousal conditions because ibang batas. In fact, yung batas na i-apply nga nila is actually more difficult, no, than the spousal conditions, the normal spousal conditions, because they often refer to yung home office, they say that you need to be able to show exceptionality, for example, yung tawag nga, or that there are the decision that to refuse would be unduly harsh, no, or that there are what's called insurmountable obstacles to pursue a family life in the UK. Those of you who unfortunately have had refusals, those phrases will unfortunately probably be familiar, no? So, ang kailangan yung pakitang unang-una is exceptionality, as I say, or otherwise they say insurmountable obstacles, or indeed that any decision to refuse would be unduly harsh. Yun ang una. Okay? And that actually, that factor, it can be very, very difficult to establish. So what would amount to exceptional circumstances could be various things, but it's not enough that it's inconvenient. Now, so but if you're able to satisfy that, so sabihin natin may sakit nga yung asawa mo, that's why hindi why it's the case that it's exceptional nga, then the fact that you don't satisfy the 18,600 should not on its own lead to a refusal. Okay? Which is some good news, some limited good news nga. Now, however, kung ang income nyo sapat naman, o income niya sapat naman 18,600, then there's absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, my advice would be to say so. No? So kung visa, paso ng visa mo, overstayer ka na dito, magpasok yung application for your regularization of leave to remain in the UK, yung asawa mo, o partner mo, ang income nga niya sapat naman, no, over 18,600, my advice is say so. Sa statement mo sa sulat, and actually provide evidence of the income. So yung kontrata niya, payslip niya, dahil gusto niyo din pakita nga that you can support yourself in the UK without recourse to public funds. And normally what I do, no, tip po to you need to devote a lot of time when you're preparing yung representations at mga statements nyo, no, on the issue of exceptionality, no, undue hardship, no, insurmountable obstacles. Basically, you want to be able to satisfy as a starting point that your circumstances is so exceptional na they should exercise their discretion in your favor kahit wala ka nang visa. And then follow that up with in any event you would satisfy the usual spousal conditions. And one of the things, of course, for the spousal conditions is the £18,600. So if you satisfy it, your partner, you would satisfy it, then absolutely include that. And there's case law actually that says if you satisfy the factors that are required now for a spouse visa, and there are exceptional circumstances, then the Home Office should not, as a matter of course, simply require you to leave the United Kingdom just to make you make an application from abroad. Sabihin natin galing sa Pinas, papasok nga dito. No? But it's for you to show that there are exceptional circumstances. Nga. So it's I suppose the good thing with that is it's not the 18,600 is not necessarily a deal breaker. No, if you can sufficiently show that there are exceptional circumstances, and it could be that this exceptional circumstances yung is borne out by the fact that yung partner nyo, he or she is sick, no? And that's why they would not satisfy nga the 18,600 because they're not able to pursue employment. If that's the case, again, explain it nga. But in that event, no, absolutely, if you have 18,600, you should certainly show that. But on its own, so don't be put off, no. If that is the only factor that's causing you concern, no, then do not be put off as long as you can show the exceptional circumstances. But that's quite a complex area of law, exceptionality, undue hardship. So you're looking at human rights, Article 8, right to family. So seek advice. Pero kung ang income nyo hindi nga sapat, but you have exceptional circumstances, that on its own is not necessarily a deal breaker. Now, different also the 18,600 also bear in mind that only applies if you're joining someone who is British permanent resident in the UK or indefinite leave to remain. Pero kung wala nga siya, kung hindi pa sila, no, so if they're here on a skilled worker route, for example, then different conditions actually apply. Yeah. So we're not looking at 18,600. But I say again, the 18,600 po that's before tax. A few weeks ago, actually, I was dealing with a lovely couple, no. But they've been trying desperately to reach 18,600. And sabi nga nila sa akin, it's just ang taas, it's just so difficult because ang income nga niya on a monthly basis nagbabago. And then when I looked at their calculations, they were calculating it on net. And so I'm not surprised actually that they could not reach the 18,600. And in fact, when I looked at at the pay slips, no, he exceeded 18,600 already. And we still had like about a month to go. So calculating on 11 months, he already exceeded the 18,600. Anyway, so that was good news. So it's the 18,600 is absolutely an important factor to satisfying up, but it does not always apply. So beware. Hi, Sonny. Sorry, hindi ka namin marinig.
Oo nga, hindi. Pinatay ka. Ito naman si Direk talaga, hindi ka agad sinabi sa akin. Naghabol pa ako, buksan yung mic ko pala, sarado na, na-switch off pala niya. Okay, Yeah, okay. So, maano pala, very complicated pala, no? Parang listening into what you were saying, medyo marami mga, ano tawag dito, mga situationers, scenarios, no, na po pwedeng mangyari, no? Itong huling sinasabi mo, exceptionality, no? Hardship, undue hardship, no? So, yeah. Okay. Well, ang mga circumstances kanina, sabi mo, when you don't have to prove it yata o to show yung yung 18,600 in requirements as spouse is when this spouse is in receipt of benefits. Tama ba yan?
Yeah, some benefits, no? So
Some benefits.
universal credit, absolutely, yeah. No. Pero for example, disability living allowance, PIP, personal independent payment nga. So it's basically kung may sakit nga, no? So then you don't necessarily need to show the 18,600 pounds as an income. And the second scenario, and this is it's so common that people make mistakes, and I've also seen this in decisions, which is a bit worrying. That where they say, oh well, they don't satisfy the 18,600, but they don't have to satisfy the 18,600 because that's not a primary factor it should not be the primary factor in the decision making. So, so the 18,600, good if you're satisfied. But even if you don't just give up. Seek advice.
Meron ka ba sinabi, savings of 65, was it 62,500?
Yeah.
If you have that amount, for example, if the mom gave the money to the son or the daughter, as the case may be, whoever is the spouse is, yun ba? You would qualify then? That's a when you don't need to show it, no? That's one of those instances.
Yeah, actually, Sonny, that's a good point because I didn't actually say this, no? Third party support bawal, no?
Okay.
Hindi po pwedeng third party support. But sabihin natin you got as an engagement or wedding present nga 62,500, no? Okay? So wala kang income, wala kang trabaho nga dito, you rely on your parents are very generous and they decide, actually, no, kakasal ka na, we're going to give you the huge amount of 62,500. Now, as long as it's a gift, so there's no strings attached, no? So sa'yo nga yung 62,500 napunta sa account mo, no? And you've been holding that amount for 6 months, you need to also explain to the home office sa inyo nang galing. But if you have 62,500 in your account, kahit wala kang trabaho, you're holding that for 6 months, it was a gift to you by the parents, and you can show that also, then absolutely. That's not considered, that's not third-party support in that sense. You're allowed. But so 62,500 ang taas,
Oo nga. So pwede pala. You can not really circumvent, or there's a way of getting around it. Because there's third parties are barred, di ba? For in being a source of income or money. Pero if this is if they could show it as a gift, dahil nga mag-aasawa na in love si anak na lalaki halimbawa o babae, as the case may be, dad or mom, I've met this lovely Filipina and I'd love to marry her. So I haven't got the money. No worries, son. No, we're gonna gift you this amount. So pwede yun. Within the 6-month period, when 6-month period. May isa ka pang sinabi.
Actually,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, tama ka. And in fact, I often the phrase I often hear is show money, no? Ano bang show money namin? So in fact there, kung may magbigay sa inyo, no, you have very generous parents or would be parents-in-law, no? If you have that, it's not, my advice is you have to explain it. Dahil kung hindi mo sasabihin, saan nanggaling nga yun, immediately magdududa sila. No? So if it's a gift, get a letter from them to say, on the occasion of their engagement or on the occasion of their marriage nga, we were in a position to provide them with a gift, no, a cash gift nga, of 60,000 or 50,000 or 62,500, and that we did, no, galing nga sa amin. So do not be afraid, and you should also explain it. Dahil kung hindi nyo sasabihin, biglang nandun na nga lang, sabihin natin wala kayong income, Tapos, from one day to the next, meron kayong 62,500. You will find, you'll get a refusal dahil hindi nga nila alam saan ba yun nanggaling. You have to explain.
Pero, kunyari, for example, in the interim, for example, nanalo ng lottery, hindi nakuha yung first prize, pero nakuha, let's say, second prize or third prize, amounting to covering the 62,500. Ayan, walang problema. You can easily explain that because it's winnings, no?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely
Pwede
allowed.
yan, no? Oo. Okay,
Opo.
all right. As long as pala, attorney, basta meron ka savings, no? You don't have to satisfy to need to show yung requirement na 16,500, 18,600, I should say. Kung meron ka at least 62,500 na legal na perang talagang nandun savings mo, it might have accumulated. You might have had perhaps wala ka ng income, but you had probably at one time 300,000 and the money was coming down. That's siyempre, you know, source of expenses mo. But kung may natitira pang 62,500, okay ka ba? Di ba? Parang
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay na yan. Okay
Yeah,
na.
no, and it's also not unusual. I was recently, actually, I'm dealing with a case where yung binenta niya yung bahay niya, no? And he was fortunate enough to get quite a bit of money for it.
Okay.
Because he got quite a bit of money for it, at the moment he's not really looking for employment, but he has enough, and that's fine. Now, also, kung meron kayong income, hindi nga lang, yung savings nyo nga lang hindi 62,500, but sabihin natin 25,000. Kung income nyo 15,000, no?
Ayan, sinasabi
Meron
mo,
kayong savings 25,000. Okay
25,000 requirement.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can put the two together.
Yun nga, yun ang third na sinabi mo kanina. Kung 15,000 ang kinikita, so less than the 18,600, they have to have at least 25K as savings or money in the bank? Ayun.
Yes. Yun.
Okay. Naku, nawala yung parang follow-up question ko doon sa kanina, no? Meron akong may nag-cross na mind ko. Sana maalala ko mamaya, no? Nag-cross na mind ko. Ano ba tawag dito? I had a question sana. But anyway, it will come back to me. Hopefully before the program ends. Okay, so siguro, attorney, let's make way to some questions for tonight, no? Hindi, ganito. Ayun, naalala ko na, attorney. Going back muna, bago tayo pumunta sa mga questions. Sabi mo, for example, yung kanina, binenta yung bahay. So, he doesn't need to work. Meron na siyang, he can live off do sa parang proceeds ng kanyang sale ng bahay, ng pera. Siguro malaki-laki. Yung spouse visa, hindi naman hinahanap yung proof of accommodation ng lalaki or babae or yung spouse na nandito sa UK. They do. So in that case, for example, kaya nga biglang nag-cross ang mind ko, he sold his property. Okay, he satisfies the savings perhaps of 62,500. But in the meantime, he's just probably renting. Siguro renting na lang siguro. Pwede pa rin naman, no?
Yeah.
That also is okay naman, di ba? Wala naman problema pala yan, no? So that could be the proof of accommodation. Pero kung wala ka accommodation, mahirapan ka kunin yung prospective spouse mo sa Pilipinas, di ba?
Kailangan mong accommodation, absolutely. So sa kanya, dahil he's living on his own naman. So he's just rented a studio, no? And initially binenta nga yung bahay because he was taking up employment somewhere else. And he didn't want to rent it out or maintain it. And I mean, as I say, he was fortunate enough to have made a bit of money out of it. So ngayon, he's just renting. He actually has decided he's just going to rent a studio, enough for both of them. Pagka nandito na yung, pagka nakakuha na nga ng visa yung asawa nga niya, then they'll probably look to potentially buy elsewhere. So yeah, no, absolutely. Accommodation does not have to be owned. It can be rented. But the room. You can only it's okay also to have one room, but the room must be occupied by only the two of you, of course.
Right. Oh, okay. Enough for the two of you, no? Hindi pwedeng single tao lang, no? 'Di ba? Parang dapat commensurate din do sa dami ng taong kukunin mo because let's say if you get your family, yung mga 'di ba, yung mga family meron ditong tier something na working visa and then they get their family. Kailangan yung kukunin mo accommodation talagang sasakto doon sa taong magkakasya doon, no? Doon sa, di ba? Parang ganyan, no? Okay, let's go. Direct, sige, let's go. Doon tayo sa ating mga questions. Let's go, go, go. Yan, immigration question tayo, no? Saan tayo magsisimula direct? Doon sa naka-flash sa ano natin? Yan, okay, yan. Sige. This is from, sino yan? Ang pangalan niya? Okay, ito yata, okay, Barbara. Si Barbara, ano pangalan nito? Barbara, Ketal? Quinta Roberts. Nababasa mo ba, attorney? Okay na, basahin ko lang.
Okay, ikaw na.
Hello po. I'm from Somerset po. Attorney and Sir Sonny, I'd like to ask po something. I am an HCA at one of NHS trust and I would like to study po nursing. I'm still a spouse, visa, leave to remain po, nakalagay sa BRP. Ask ko po if entitled po ako sa study bursary. Oh, bursary. Iba pala ang tanong nito, no? Kahit na nakalagay po sa BRP, okay, BRP, baka yung mga sa ano, no, yung mga sa mga benefits or something or public funds. Nakalagay po sa BRP ko no public funds. Siguro no recourse sa public funds. But I ask po sa hospital na pinapasukan ko, they are willing to support me. Do I need to pursue po or I need to cancel because of no public funds na nakalagay po sa BRP ko? Thank you po and God bless po. Attorney and Sir Sonny. Yeah.
Okay. Barbara, it's good news. Bursary nga is not generally regarded as public funds, no?
Okay.
So okay yan. Especially it's actually often provided by employers nga, hospitals also. So that's not in breach of your immigration condition. So the public funds are more basic than that actually. So it would be things like universal credit, hindi nga yung pwede, o kaya housing benefit. But generally, if you like to study bursary, it's not regarded as public funds. But mag-ingat ka nga lang, ano, because usually the bursaries are not provided to people who have limited leave to remain in the United Kingdom, no? So, but not always. So, tanungin mo muna. So, the issue I see here is not so much that, is it public funds, because it's not public funds nga, but whether or not you would be entitled dahil nga you only have limited leave to remain at the moment as a spouse. So, yun ang tanong mo sa kanila. Pero kung okay yun sa kanila, dahil gusto ka nga nilang tulungan, they're investing in you, hoping that you then stay with them, absolutely, take it up.
Okay, ayan. So, okay. Meron tayong next question dito, attorney, no? Direct, sige, basahin ko lang, attorney? Basahin ko lang.
Opo.
This is coming from Cheribel Latore Igarta. Sabi niya, hello po. I have a friend in 10-year root spouse visa, no? She's going to extend her visa for the fourth and last time this August to complete. She's having a hard time to keep the marriage steady. Husband is now alcoholic, not working anymore, and having affairs. They have 7 years. They have a 7-year-old daughter, British citizen. Will she be able to change visa to parent of a British child? If, for example, they separated, or stick to the last extension application? Salamat po.
Okay, Cheribel. Dahil 10 years nga binigay sa kanya, I suspect it's because unang-una, it could be that she didn't have a visa to begin with, no? And then she got a visa on the basis of that relationship. So it's not the standard spouse visa nga, ang visa nga niya. So it was probably visa based on family and private life. Dahil either matagal na nga siya dito, and of course, nandito nga yung partner niya. Now, the good news is, kung ang visa nga niya is family life, nandito naman yung anak niya, 7 years old na nga, she doesn't actually need to even change it. Dahil yung pa rin nga ang visa niya, because it was granted on the basis of family life. Yung nga lang, pagka nagpasok siya ng representations, no, o yung statement nga niya, kailangan nga lang niya sabihin doon, well, unfortunately, she's having problems or even maybe separated nga from her husband, but she continues to be in the United Kingdom on the basis of her her child in the UK who's British. So mangyayari, pagka na-extend na yung visa niya on that basis, she will then have completed lawful residence anyway in the United Kingdom of 10 years. Dahil 10 years na nga siya dito. In which case, she can anyway make an application on the basis of the 10 years, not the 10 years family route, but the 10 years lawful residence route. So, sabihin mo sa kaibigan mo, she should be okay either way. No? So, absolutely make an extension application. Ha? Huwag niyong papabayaan yung visa niya. So, get that extension. Kailangan niya nga lang sabihin doon if there are problems o hiwalay na nga sila. But of course, ang mangyayari nga, she needs to emphasize the fact na yung bata nga nandito, 7 years old, and she's looking after the child. And she'll get, she should still nevertheless get nga the indefinite leave to remain because she's completed the 10 years.
Ayan. Okay, so may mga... Okay. But that could also be an alternative route for her in case. Pero yung regular 10 years na regular route, okay na, no? Wala nang problema ron, no? Okay na yun, no?
Yeah. Yung nga lang, kailangan siguraduhin nga na 10 years na siya, ha?
Okay.
Kung hindi pa siya 10 years, so sabihin natin she'll be 10 years in 1 month, ha? Pero may visa pa siya. Huwag niyong gaagahan yung application. Wait until she's actually here 10 years. Because that's what you need to show under the lawful residence route of 10 years. You know? So a little bit more, there's a bit more to it than that. But so yeah, so she can. Is a good news nga. Yung nga lang, it's also a question of timing.
Okay. Clarify ko lang, attorney. You can only finalize or formalize all of these applications, yung sinasabi mong regular route, if you are still with your married, di ba? Pero kung let's say before that, before umabot ka ng 10, magdi-divorce yung spouse mo, the second alternative is yung sa bata, yun ba? Yeah.
So under the 10-year family private life route, of course titingnan nga nila if you're married to someone nga, or indeed you're living together with someone, or if you have children in the United Kingdom. So if you like, those factors are merged into this family private life route, ha? So kung may mangyari nga sa relationship and she has satisfied anyway 10 years in the United Kingdom already, no? Then the application can be made under what's called the lawful residence route, the 10 years lawful residence route. Kung hindi pa siya 10 years dito, then she can get an extension anyway on the basis of still family life. Yung nga lang, she swaps, if you like, the family argument to that of the child rather than the husband nga. And she should still get an extension on that basis. So she can still make an application on even though wala na nga sila, kahit maghiwalay nga sila dahil nandito yung bata eh. So don't worry too much, but it is fairly complex application. So kung it would be good if you get legal advice, yung kaibigan mo.
Okay, medyo meron akong naalala, parang nalilito ako because syempre I just get nuggets of ideas during our interactions, attorney, no? You at one time in the past yata, I don't know if it's correct me if I'm wrong, kung tama yan or baka ko lang, no, na hindi ko masyadong nadinig na maayos. But you were mentioning before na yung 7 years old, sometimes a child, parang it's not probably a good strategy yet, or you can try it, but it would be best to wait till there's somewhere around 13 na yung bang, di ba, yung mga strategies when you wanna apply 7 years old ba, hindi ko matandaan, attorney, parang nag-wonder lang ako, parang I heard one time ganun, parang na-mention yata lang yan na hindi ko alam kung baka hindi ko mali rin na pagkakadinig ko na baka delikado pag 7 years, move it a bit to mga 10 years ba o 13, may naalala ko. Ano ba yung pinag-uusapan natin before?
No, but tama ka, Sonny, no? It can be a question of strategy, no? So one of the routes would be kung pinanganak nga dito yung bata, so hindi na nga yung kaibigan mo, Cherry Bell, so kung pinanganak dito yung bata, tapos 7 years na nga siya dito, o kahit hindi siyang pinanganak nga dito, pero natagalan na siya, no? 7 years. But let's take the example nga, pinanganak siya dito, 7 years na yung bata. Now, absolutely, there's a route that allows you to make an application on the basis that the child is in the United Kingdom, born in the UK, in the United Kingdom, nga minimum of 7 years. And the second bit, and this is when it becomes complicated, is that it is unreasonable. It would be unreasonable to expect that child to leave the United Kingdom. Now, the older a child gets in the UK, the harder it would be for the Home Office to argue that it would be in that child's best interest, or rather, it would not be unreasonable, no, to expect the child to leave the United Kingdom and go anywhere else. So Pinas o kahit saan, no. So kung yung bata is 10 taon na, no, or 12 or 13, then it is the older a child is in the United Kingdom, the harder the Home Office's job would be to support a decision to remove that child, along, of course, with the parents, for example, or the rest of the family, because they think that it would not be unreasonable to expect them to leave the UK. So, in fact, yung sinasabi mo, Sonny, that was unfortunately backed up, well, kind of backed up by a new case, a 2021 case called NA Bangladesh. No, basically, sabi doon, kung there's no presumption either in favor or against a child who has been in the United Kingdom for 7 years, whereas before it was widely thought that kung 7 years na nga yung bata, that it would be unreasonable to expect them to leave the United Kingdom. But this case, which is a Court of Appeal case, NA Bangladesh nga said differently. Yeah, so it is. So tama ka. It could be a good strategy to wait, but most people, between 7 and 10, it's 3 years, no. So it can be very difficult to wait. I think most people probably ang tingin nga nila magsapalaran na lang.
Okay. So yun nga. So parang entitled at the age of 7, you can start applying. Now, yung in-explain mo lang sa atin yung it might, yung parang strategy yon, no? Na because if you extend it a bit, the Home Office would find it more difficult, a bit difficult to uproot the child, for example, because the child has already established. The more number of years that the child has been here, the more associations he or she or the child has had with schooling and everything with friends, no? So ganun, no?
Absolutely.
So, okay, all right. Question tayo. Sige, let's question direct. Anong question natin dito? Okay. Ayan. Good evening, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira. I am currently on my second spouse visa. This is from Rach, no? Rach siguro, yan ang nickname na, imbis na Rachel. Siguro Rachel, but it's her nickname, Rach Barley. Okay, so good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. I am currently on my second spouse visa. Next thing that I will do is to apply for my permanent residency. I-ask ko lang po if after a year po ba, pwede na akong mag-apply na citizenship. Maraming salamat po.
Okay. Rach, ito. Kung ang asawa mo British, hindi mo kailangang mag-intay ng 1 year. No? You can make an application actually immediately. You just need to be able to show that you've been married to a British citizen a minimum of 3 years. So sa'yo, the quick answer is no, you don't have to wait the 1 year kung British nga siya. So makuha mo indefinite mo ngayon, the following day you can make an application for naturalization for citizenship. So it's good news.
Ayun, na-discuss natin to, di ba? Before, no? Basta depende yung mga ganyan mga situationers kung spouse ang British ang spouse mo. So you can apply immediately the following day.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, fantastic. Okay, next question natin. May next question tayo, direct yan, no? Okay. Ito, from Rina, no? Sabi niya, magandang gabi po. Puro spouse to, attorney, no? Magandang gabi po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Naka-spouse visa po ako at mag-expire po ito by November 2022. So this year. pwede po ba akong mag-apply ng advance extension ng spouse visa or kailangan po ba mga bandang September pa ako mag-apply? Salamat po at more power to your show. Yan, from Rina L, no? Yes.
Okay. Rina, ang payo ko, don't apply too early for a number of reasons. Unang-una, guidance say that you should pursue an application no earlier than 28 days prior to the expiration of leave. So, in fact, the guidance say not September, but actually October. But you can probably get away now with September. Pangalawa, of course, if they're in the unlikely event, that they deal with it quickly, then what you don't want to happen is baka you may be short of visa before you reach the 5 years. So if you're sabihin natin it's too early, and you're short by 3 months or indeed 4 months or 5 months nga before the 5 years, then you may find that you then need 3 applications, So that spouse visa times 2 and then the gap, because of course you can't then potentially apply for indefinite leave to remain because there's such a massive gap, 6 months. So kung ako ikaw, Rina, don't apply too early. One thing you can do though, and at the moment it's still in place, kung nagmamadali ka, meron kayong biyahe, sabihin natin, November 2022, baka meron kayong Christmas plans, then have a look at what's called the premium service, the priority service. There's a fee to be paid, but if you pay, I think at the moment it stands something like £800. Ang laki nga lang. But if you pay the extra £800, then they should be able to deal with your application within a week, in fact. So, pasok mo ngayon, you then should be granted they should deal with it either that day or the following day. You should then, or at least by the end of that week, and then they will grant you your BRP. They'll post you to the BRP within usually 14 days. So kung nagmamadali ka, that's really the thing to look at rather than submitting it too early. Oh, and by the way, also, another downside, if you submit it too early, they can reject it. And if they reject it, and you still have a visa, there's of course no right of appeal anyway, but hindi nila babalik sa'yo yung perang, yung babalik na yung IHS, the Immigration Health Surcharge, but hindi na babalik sa'yo yung immigration fee mismo, the £1,052.20. So you'll be out of pocket by over £1,000.
Okay, so wag strategy, wag mag-apply na maaga. Tama ba yan?
Hindi gaano maaga.
Hindi gaano maaga. All right. Okay. So, okay. Meron dito si may question dito. Irene Habonillo. Hello, attorney and Sir Sonny. I have a niece dito ipinanganak sa UK. She is 2 years old na po. Kung sinasabi po ng batas na 7 years bago pwede apply ang bata, paano naman po ang pinsan ko na walang visa, pwede po ba siyang sumabay sa anak niya? So ito yung nanay nga, na ito yung kamukha ng lagi natin dinidiscuss, no?
Oo, yeah.
Yeah, attorney.
Irene, ito po, no? So, I assume na ang scenario po yung nanay niya nandito, wala ngang visa, no? Sabi mo nga dito. Pero dito pinanganak yung bata, pero yung bata, wala ding visa. So, because although dito siya pinanganak, yung status niya, she will follow the mother's status. So kung walang status yung nanay, then wala din siyang status yung bata. So unfortunately, sa kanya, ang payo ko, so if she's seeing me, yung pinsan mo, I would be saying, don't make an application, unless there really are exceptional circumstances. So that would be, for example, kung may sakit nga yung bata, and that leaving the United Kingdom would seriously jeopardize not just her health, but in fact her life. So unless there are exceptional circumstances na ganoon, don't apply. Because 2 years old, the Home Office will likely say, well, batang-bata pa na yung bata. So as long as she's going to somewhere with the parent and the parent loves her, it'll be fine kung anumang bansa. So you may find that that's actually going to be refused. Kahit dito pinanganak yung bata.
Okay, yan. So, all right. Palagay ko, Okay, direct, pakita mo muna ako. Nagsasalita ako. Ayan. Okay. Ayan, tapos na magsalita si attorney. So ako naman muna magsasalita. Okay. All right. So I guess siguro yun na muna mga mga questions natin. Pero may mga pagbati at mga siguro kung may quick question dito, pasok natin. Sige, direct sequence natin kung ano yung mga nandiyan para mapasok na natin. Yung mga pagbati. Sige, mga final pagbati natin. All right. Sasayaw daw po. Pearly Shell. Okay, sa surprise ni Edgar Ducino, sasayaw daw tayo na, okay, Pearly Shells. Surprise,
Pearly Shell.
Emily Rafael. Oo nga pala, oo. Ayan, pwede kasi pwedeng impromptu, may program, ganyan, no? Wala namang actually nakaset na program. Unless, yata may mga friends yata siya magbibigay ng, magbibigay ng, dance number, parang nakausap ko lang siya.
Wow,
talaga?
Looking forward to it.
So, it will be an impromptu program that we're gonna be having, no? Okay. Sino to? Mary Lou Torres, Simo? Hello, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny, watching from PRUK. Watching from PRUK. Okay. Mabuhay. Mabuhay, ha? Mary Lou Torres Simo. Ang ganda ng surname mo, no? Ayan, sino to? May Tigbao Vargas. Ayun, si May Tigbao. Nanonood direkta sa Filipino TV Europe. Sabi niya, good evening po, Sir Sonny Laragan, Attorney Lira, Direct Pao, at sa lahat ng nanonood. Happy Thursday. God bless. May, lagi ka nang nasa huli ngayon, May, Dati, lumalaban si May sa una, di ba? Ano nangyari? O baka meron siyang work sa gabi? Okay. Si Barbara Quintal Roberts. Hello po, Attorney and Sir Sonny, watching, no, from Pinoy Radio UK. Parang nagpasalamat siya, di ba? Parang I saw that nagpasalamat siya. Ito, Edgar Duway. Ang galing. Sino ang galing ba ito? Ano itong ang galing? Ang galing. Paki-sequence lang direct. Ang galing mo, Attorney LC. Mag-apply ka na maging conjun sa embassy natin. Bravo. Salamat sa dagdag kaalaman. Okay.
Edgar.
Alright, so Edgar. Okay. Ano to? Salamat po. Sabi ni Cherry Bell Igata. Salamat po. She felt relieved, Attorney. So, thank you sa iyo, no? Sa atin dito sa show natin. No stress po siya sa asawa. Na-stress po siya sa asawa dahil ang iniipon niya para sa visa niya ay inuubos din ng asawa niya at siya na lang ang may work. Her nearly 8 years old daughter was born po here. She will contact daw po kayo within the 28 days ng kanyang visa extension. Thank you and God bless. Ayun. Hindi ko nakikita ilalim ng pero dun sa mas maliit kasi nasa screen natin. Okay, alright, oo. Attorney, yung kunyari, halimbawa, na dumating ang visitor's visa, na in love, nabuntis, iniwanan, so andito, nag-overstay, lumalaki yung bata. Yung situation ba niyan, yan ba ang bata na hopefully by 7 years, it could also be a way of magagamit ng nanay o hindi?
Yeah, absolutely. Under the 7-year rule, actually, one of the things that's changing in June, is kung dito pinanganak nga yung bata, tapos 7 taon na nga, in the past, or until now, actually, na in the past, ngayon, that child would be granted leave to remain in the United Kingdom kung makakuha nga siya ng visa of 2.5 years. So magkatugma nga yung visa ng nanay at visa ng bata. But from June, kung ang application ay may pasok in June, I think it's the 15th nga of June, that child, they can make an application actually for indefinite leave to remain. So diretso na, rather than waiting for the 2.5 years, So, so they can actually make an application immediately for indefinite leave to remain. Yung nga lang, it doesn't mean that the second limb, this is the issue of unreasonableness or unreasonableness goes away. Kailangan nyo pa rin pakita yon. Pero kung makalusot nga kayo, and the decision is that it would be unreasonable to expect such a child to leave the United Kingdom, then ang visa may bibigay sa kanya is indefinite leave to remain na. Which would be better, of course, para sa nanay. Yung nanay, makukuha pa rin niya 2.5 years, ha? Pero of course, kung nandito nga yung bata, may indefinite leave to remain yung bata, next time around, matutulungan yung kaso ng nanay.
Attorney, ano to? They have to wait for the 7 years first? Ganun ba? O hindi na? They can apply? 7 years
Yeah,
muna, di ba?
no. Yeah, the 7 years still apply. The main difference is the type of visa you get
Indefinite ka agad
if
for the
you are
child.
granted. Tama. So,
Oo.
ngayon, at the
And
moment, until June, ang visa bibigay sa kanya 2.5 years lang muna. So, magkatugma yung visa niya at saka yung nanay.
So after
But from
June,
June, after June, 14 June, the child can get immediately indefinite leave to remain.
the mom gets 2.5. The first,
2.5 pa rin.
parang first stage. Okay. Kasi I remember, I interpreted for this girl who was overstaying on a student visa, and she was hoping, she had a lover who was Portuguese yata, thinking that who's living here, working here, may papel na yata rito because of that, yung EU, di ba? Yung mga EU dito, nagstay na, no? Iniwanan siya. So, ito, pwedeng route niya to, no? But in the meantime, maglalaylo. Okay. Pagka overstay ng mga tao, di ba? Takot yan, hindi alam kung anong gagawin, di ba? Ano kaya, di ba? Ang mga nabuntis, halimbawa, nabuntis na kababayan natin. There were student visas, for example, wala na, tapos na, or they were on visitor's visa, tapos na, overstaying na, nabuntis. Pagka yan nanganak sa hospital, may chance ba sila that will they be deported? Meron bang parang thinking ng tao, they will be nabbed and then pauuwin? Ano ang mostly mga nangyayari, attorney? Kunyari, nabuntis, takot na magano, hindi baka mahuli ako, ganun.
Yeah, no. It's a real concern, no. I've never there've been unfortunate cases nga, no, na where someone's given birth o kaya may sakit nga, and it's not stopped the Home Office from serving, no, a notice of removal and actually eventually removing them from the United Kingdom. Also, on top of that, kung wala kang status, no, then strictly speaking, you need to pay for the care that you received, no, from the hospital. So pwede ka na lang singilin nga, no. So it is a horrible situation as to be in, no. Nag-aalala ka, manganganak ka na nga, and then you're worrying about, your status. But look, chances are hindi nga yung mangyayari na huhulihin ka. Pero kung mangyari nga yun, then of course you should see about making an application.
Application for what, attorney?
Leave to remain in the UK on the basis of your private life and I suppose private life to some extent, dahil yung nga baby. But the younger a child is, the stronger the Home Office's case, no, would be that wherever you go with the child will be okay. No?
Okay.
That's why yung 7 years, yung if you like the magic number would be 7 years.
Because they have, somehow the child has established associations probably with the school, with friends, with the language, the environment, and everything, no? So, and made friends, no? Ayan. Okay, so kung mas lesser, mas medyo mahina ang case mo. Ika nga, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. So, I guess, kung may marami pa kayong mga, Barbara Quintal Roberts, thank you po, Attorney Lina and Sir Sonny. It's a big help po. No? Ayan, sige, basahin pa natin mga quick mga messages pa dyan. Habinilio Irene, Attorney, please, mag-email po ako sa inyo about my daughter's application. I hope po you'll help me. Hirap po ako dahil sa laki ng singil ng ibang solicitors, okay? Thank you po so much sa inyong dalawa ni Sir Sonny. Okay. All right. Good.
Email me.
Irene. Yeah, email. No? Yan nga. Pag, meron pa ba, direct? Meron pa ba tayong okay na tayo? Are we, okay. So, ayan. Siguro okay na. Okay. All right. So, Attorney, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. I'm going to be seeing you again next week, and hopefully walang hindi mag-extend yung ano pa tayo dito? yung winter. Itong malamig na weather. Winter, grabe. I'd love to have the sunshine. I love to go out now and expose my skin to the sun because it's vitamin D. It's healthy sa atin, di ba?
Tama.
So, kailangan din natin ng I'd like to take advantage of it. Pag winter time, wala tayong masyadong sun. Wala tayong sun. So, ayan. Attorney, okay, so baka may mga nakalimutan, may gusto pang idagdag ka or mga shoutouts and of course, to tell them how to get in touch with you. Go right ahead, please.
Okay, so ito pong contact details ko, no? So for those of you that have follow-up questions o kaya you have questions yung nga lang I wasn't able to deal with it, ito po, kabatbat@douglas-simon.com. Now, lagay nyo nga lang po dun sa subject, no? Immigration corner. Dahil oftentimes binubuksan ko and then I never find it again. So, can you make sure lagay nyo yung immigration corner, tapos lagay nyo nga dun din yung telephone number nyo po, because sometimes it's just easier for me to give you a call, no? But by all means, of course, email me and sabihin nyo either in English or Tagalog, hindi rin nga problema. You're welcome to call me, but it's quite difficult to get a hold of me by phone. Ang number po namin, 0203-375-0555. I mean, the topic today was actually at gandang tiyempo, no? Because we've had a lot of spouse questions nga. And spouse applications can be particularly difficult and sometimes tactics nga can be quite important. So, if you have follow-up questions, as I say, email me nga. But it just leaves me really to say, thank you for joining us. No, I know lagi kong sinasabi to, but truly, I'm so humbled by the fact that you've taken time, you've joined us nga, and I really enjoy it. So I hope you've enjoyed it too. Dahil ako nga, I look forward to Thursdays, and for me, definitely it is a happy Thursday.
Agree. Maganda yung isang line sinabi mo, yung mga for tactics din, no? It would be helpful. So yun nga, yun ang advantage of having somebody like you and them, for example, and them to consult you, for example, dahil you can give them, diba, iba rin yung may wealth of experience that you know how the system works, diba? Rather than just getting a whatever, an update from the home office, read it, no? Iba rin yun iba rin yung practice di ba? Kaya nga may spirit of the law, may mga ganyan, di ba? Iba yung letter of the law, spirit of the law. But by having a professional, an experienced immigration solicitor on your side, somehow you can appraise the situation and give them proper advice on which tactics, no? Wherein should we delay or should we not delay? Because if we delay it a bit, it would work towards our favor, di ba? Or di ba? Or kung ganito mapaaga, kamukha na sinasabi mo, wag agahan yung sa application, di ba? November pa yata 2022 and then September mention niya kung pwede na, no? So, yan. Okay, well, I guess it's time for me to say goodbye. It's really wonderful having you being with you, attorney, on a Thursday, because this is interacting with our kababayans, no? And we always have some new viewers and a lot of silent viewers, and we want to encourage them, you guys, no, to really participate, no, put in even by way of some greetings. Pero marami naman people are doing it naman, di ba? Sometimes we would be surprised to have some new viewers. So maraming salamat thank you for being a part of tonight's show, no, for keeping us company dito, no, because parang isang musikero din yan. When you're singing, performing in front of an audience, it's nice to have an audience. At yung palakpak, yung by way of the reactions, parang mapalakpak ninyo, no? So, maraming salamat. Okay, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. So, sa ngalan ni Attorney LIRA, SIMON-CABATBAT, ng ating direktor na si Paula Perez, ito po si Sonny Laragang nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay dito po sa Immigration Corner every Thursday. Let's do it again next Thursday. So, till then, take care, good night, God bless, and bye-bye. Good night.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.